People come to me often, particularly when I was litigating, and they want to know what should they do before they file for divorce. That question always bothers me because it makes me think that the person may want to hide money or something like that. And really, that's not a good thing to do. Because if you're inclined to open accounts and hide them from your spouse because you're going to go through a divorce, it'll get found out. There are ways it can be found out. And one of the things I've learned is that if you lie and a judge finds out you're lying, then they won't believe anything else you say. I've had this happen. I've usually been on the good side of that. I'd be the one that caught the person in the lie, but it completely negates their credibility. So it is always my advice to be open and honest about everything. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean you can't move money around. If you have a joint account, for example, that your paycheck goes into, maybe you want to open up your own account in just your name and have your paycheck deposited there. Because if you're going through litigation, that divorce case could last anywhere from 6 months to a year, and some have lasted a lot longer. So there is something you can do, and we'll talk about it, to make sure none of that's happening. But put yourself in a position where you're going to be able to take care of yourself financially just in case your spouse isn't ethical and does some crazy stuff. So, for example, if you don't have any credit cards that are just in your name, I would make sure to get one just in your name. If your spouse is an authorized user on credit cards in your name, I would remove him or her. I don't mean to, I'm a woman, so I say him a lot, but it goes both ways. It's gender neutral, is to remove them as an authorized user. Now, having said that, they're going to go crazy. So you shouldn't do those things until at the moment that you're ready to file. Okay. And I hesitate to give this kind of information to people in a video because there are so many factors that come into play. So if, and that's a big if, you are contemplating divorce and you're going to hire a lawyer, go talk to that lawyer first before you do anything, so they can tell you what they think you ought to do, because it will depend a lot on what you have and why you're concerned. If you come to me to mediate your case, I'm probably going to say, and I would say, leave everything just the way it is, because we want this to be friendly and we don't want to do anything that is going to make the other side think that you're being sneaky. Because that's the worst thing you can do when getting divorced. It is so much better for everyone if you're open and honest about everything. So don't hide anything. Don't do anything that is going to make things worse in terms of getting along. And consider mediation rather than going to lawyers, because that is the easiest, most straightforward way to get divorced. And we can help you with all of that at divorce mediation centers.